Hey there, welcome to another Chubs Gone Wild. This one's number 426, recorded on January 10th, 2022. 2022. Wow, I'm still just blown away by that. Seems like just a few years ago, we were dealing with the year 2K virus and whatever else that stuff was. Anyway, it's currently 61 degrees and it says partly cloudy, but well, yeah, there's a few clouds out there. It is 294 days till Halloween, 349 till Christmas, 7 until Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which I think means that we might be recording on that day. We'll have to do something special. And also, it is 35 days, just 35 days until the loveliest day in the entire year, Valentine's Day.
What are you going to get this year?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh.
Or maybe some herpes. I'll go down to the local bathhouse that's like 3 blocks from my house and yeah, come back with a little extra something.
Let me know how it is.
Yeah. Well, apparently it hurts when you get the shot. I've had 2 friends lately who've had to get the butt shot, and I guess it hurts.
What shot for what?
Antibiotics.
Oh.
I just said picking up a little something extra at the bathhouse.
Oh, I thought you were still talking herpes.
Oh, no, herpes is incurable. Well,
that's why I was like going, what, have you just heard about some new herpes cure? What the hell?
Yeah, I was talking about the Sith and the gono and the chlamydia, because they're all still out there.
Yeah.
Waiting to pounce.
I know. I have to keep telling people, remember, PrEP doesn't cure STDs.
That is true. You need the shot in the butt, and what's worse than that is there are forms of gono and stuff that are resistant. So, you know, yeah, sex is a crapshoot. Oh, bad joke. All right. Well, hey, you know what? We're going to do a little Valentine's thing since it's only 35 days away. It's called Who Wants a Chubby Valentine? Tom and I are going to send a Valentine to some lucky listener. Just email us if you want to be considered. Just email us at chubsgonewild@gmail.com and say, I want to be your Valentine. And then we will, about a week before, we'll make it. We'll do a little drawing like we used to. See who wants to be our Valentine this year.
And will the card be stamped with probably a Christmas stamp?
Actually, no. I ordered special. Well, not special, but I ordered stamps with hearts on it because yeah, I'm that kind of person. Everything has to coordinate. Yeah, but the possibilities, and I wonder if there's bonus points for special pictures sent in the emails. Now, I'm not saying anything lewd. I'm just saying special. We'll leave it at that. Anyway, Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcasts, books, videos, and more. And we want to thank our current patrons, Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ Stas Hedge from the Universe, Eric, Sean, Brother Sinatus, Phoenix Dave, and of course, Moose P. Please visit patreon.com/MattBurlingame and see if you would like to become a sponsor of the show for as little as $1 a month. Speaking of Mr. Moose P, did you see what Tessa did?
Well, I heard.
That's crazy, chewing up all those cords and everything.
She is going to be so pissed to be in that cage.
I know, but she's a wascally wabbit if there ever was one.
I just, I remember when Honey was in her chewing stage.
Yeah.
And it was like we lost a wall, a door, a coffee table.
Wow. Yeah.
All my shoelaces.
Yeah.
Only my shoelaces. She chewed Sean's shoes, but never his laces. Only my laces. So, yeah, so you you get your shoes and you're going, okay, I can't even tie these because
Yeah.
one part is off, the part that you actually tie.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough. It really is. We even had some carpeting, and I mean, it's just,
Wow.
she just was constantly chewing. I remember we were sitting watching television,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden we look over and she's eating the corner off the coffee table. It's like, how could we not have heard that?
Right. Yeah. We've had quite a few of ours go through those chewing stages, and it can be like, what the fuck? Is because you can't keep everything picked up to the point that they'll
Well,
find
not at
something.
all.
I mean, yeah,
She was
exactly.
leaning against a corner in the living room, and next thing we hear, and then we look and there's a chunk of the wall gone.
Jeez.
You
That's
can't pick up the
crazy.
wall.
Yeah. 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 We
And I will
definitely.
warn Moose P that when we put her in the bathroom, when we had her fixed, so she was like 6 months old. We had her fixed, but she had the cone on, and we wanted to make sure she didn't lose the cone and kind of keep her restricted. So we put the carpets in the bathroom and locked her in the bathroom where it was cool. That's where she usually slept anyway when it was cool.
Yeah.
So and then Sean got home and calls me and goes, I thought we were going to put Honey in the bathroom. And I go, well, I did. And he goes, well, she's at the front door right now with
Oh,
me. And I go, oh no. And she had gotten the cone off.
yeah.
She had eaten through the door. There was like this arch through the bottom of the door.
Yeah.
And so we didn't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah, I have seen destructive, that type of destruction from doors and stuff before. Thankfully, we haven't had any that have done that, but we have to, the two that we have now, Kaya and Jax, we have to constantly make sure that they have bones and toys and stuff, because Jax is especially one that he wants to chew all the time. So if he doesn't have something to work on, he will find something. And
yeah, that's why if I get another dog ever, it'll be at 2 years, 2 years old or older.
yeah, luckily these two are going on 3 now, so hopefully they'll grow out of that a little bit. But him being a bigger dog, I think he'll probably always have that little, that chew thing. All right, hey, well, let's find out what happened this day in history, because I'm sure you're holding your breath for that one. Well, apparently in 1901 there was a gusher. Ooh, luckily the couch was Scotch guarded. No, okay.
No.
Anyway, it signaled the start of the U.S. oil industry. A drilling derrick at Spindletop Hill near Beaumont, Texas, produced an enormous gusher of crude oil, coating the landscape for I see you, the corner of my eye, landscape for hundreds of feet, and signaling the event of the American oil industry. Apparently, it was discovered to be over 1,000 feet deep and flowed the initial rate of approximately 100,000 barrels a day and took 9 days to cap. All right, in 1946, we had the first meeting of the United Nations. In 1920, the League of Nations was instituted. In 1923, President Harding ordered U.S. troops home from Germany, because I guess that was the First World War. 1967, well, President Johnson asked for more funding for Vietnam, another war. In 1941, FDR introduced the Lend-Lease program, which was, supposed to be something about World War II. In 1843, outlaw Frank James was born in Missouri. And also in 2000, AOL Time Warner was formed. Ooh. In 1962, an avalanche killed thousands of people in Peru. And in 2008, the world's cheapest car debuted in India. Apparently, Tata Motors debuted the Nano with the price tag of around $2,500. That's pretty cheap. I remember my mom had a Daewoo for many years. You remember the little Daewoo?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was supposed to be one of those really cheap cars around here in the US from Korea. And it was only about $8,000. And it was a really good little car for a long, long time. It's very sad when it finally just said, you know what? I'm done. So anyway, moving on from there, let's see if we accidentally celebrated something today. It is Houseplant Appreciation Day. Hold on, I'm having appreciation for my houseplants. And scene. Also, National Bittersweet Chocolate Day. No, thank you. Clean off your desk. Did you do that? I did a little. No? Okay. National Cut Your Energy Costs Day. Good luck with that. Also, National Gluten-Free Day. We don't need that day. National Oysters Rockefeller Day. Never had it, never want to. Is that okay? Hold on. Is that where they do it raw?
Yes.
Oh.
I think it is. I know
It's not. Why don't you?
They put stuff on top of it and brown that, but I don't think the oyster is cooked all the way. It may be, now that I'm thinking about it. It doesn't matter. I don't like oysters one way or the other.
See, they used to wake us up on me up on New Year's Day when I was a little kid, and we would have they would give me 2 pots that I would go out front on the patio and I would bang. I don't know. It was a thing. And then welcome in the new year, come in, have some oyster soup, and then go back to bed. And I actually really liked oyster soup, but I don't know. The idea of them raw are just so gross to me.
Yeah, I mean, I used to eat oysters, cooked oysters out of the can when I was a kid. But, you know, anymore, it's just oysters and clams just do not. Ugh.
Yeah, clams.
It just all looks too mucusy to me.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Also, today is Peculiar People Day. Hey, we got that one. And also, Save the Eagles. The Eagles? I didn't even think they were still together.
But they're not.
Yeah. Huh, that's weird. All right, maybe that's why we have to save them. I don't know. All right. Today's affirmation. Join with me, won't you? Take a deep breath in. Okay, let it out. I am fulfilled in every single area of my life. I didn't know I got the funny calendar. All right, moving on to birthdays, because some people were born recently. Well, not recently. Well, no, anyway. Today's birthdays. Hello, happy birthday to Rob, Lee, Rob, Kurt. Oh, Kurt Curtis. We used to work
today,
with.
Yeah.
That's awesome. He's 55 years old today. So nice. He'll always be older than me. Yay. Also, hey, that blind Jay Harris, happy birthday to him. He is 51 years old today. We met him.
Yeah.
In Vegas. Yeah. Yay. Also, that town crier, Sacktown crier, Mr. James Oz, it is his birthday today. Yay. He's pretty cool. Pretty cool guy. All right, let's see here. What else we got coming up? We also want to wish happy birthday upcoming this week to Jonathan and Johnny Robin. Oh, that Billy Stossage. He's from the Univaz. Well, he's the husband of the Univaz, but you know. Also, Cindy, Scott, Paul, Shane, Captain Scott, our Seder Sphere. Happy birthday, Scotty. Also, Vincent, my Uncle Jim. Well, it will be the anniversary of his birthday because he died years ago now. So, sadsies. Also, to Doug, our friend Doug. Happy birthday. Marina, She's from the I Love Lard podcast, although I don't think she does that anymore, but she still has a wonderful vlog that I follow. Also, Carlos Esteban, Jean-Paul, and Ken. Remember little Kenny, our actor friend? Yeah. There we go. Happy birthday, everybody. We love you. Some of you we love. Yeah. All right. Hey, feedback. Sean wrote in and said, enjoying the book of Boba Fett so far, but I'm a bit of a Star Wars nerd, so I guess that's no surprise.
Well, the first episode was really fun because we get to see him crawl out of that pit of despair.
Thank you. Hopefully we can all do that.
But when he was in there, we saw like one of the stormtroopers being digested. It was really gross. Yeah. And then the second one was just sensational, where he's trying to get away from I'm not as big of a Star Wars nerd, but from the Sand People, and they had the train, the bad guys would have the train go by and he taught them how to take over the train and stuff. Such a good episode. I mean, it was, spoiler alert, by the way, but such a good episode.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
Cool. And also it's time for some Chub hugs. Did you want to send some Chub hugs out?
Just one to my dear friend Tom, who lost his husband Frank this last week. And the thing and I know that Tom and Frank had, a different kind of relationship where Tom's not going to be the grieving husband, dressed in black for a year, but still it's just for me, it's a tough one because Frank was just such a kind and generous person. And even though they were living in Puerto Vallarta, every time I saw him on Facebook saying something, it was he always had such a good wit to himself.
Yes.
And I remember he took down a friend of ours who was going on and on about how poor people should have to take drug tests, and he kind of stopped him in his track. And I truly enjoyed that. And I fortunately was able to tell him about that when I saw Frank this last fall. They'd come up for like a few days to do whatever they needed to do or see whoever they needed to see, and I happened to see them, and so I was really happy I did have that time with him.
Great. That's really cool that you got to see him. Yeah, I remember them very fondly, especially all the stuff that they did with the Bears when I was still a little bit involved with the Bears. They're very cool. Also, I want to send a Chub hug out to our local acting community who lost one of their older, really, really amazing members for years and years, Ed Claudio. He was a great director and just a real kind of pillar of the local acting community for a long time. I always enjoyed going and seeing these plays. And then, of course, both of us were talking a little bit before the show, and we both know a slew of people who have lost a lot of pets lately. And so just...
it needs to stop right now.
Yeah.
Anymore, when I'm, perusing through Facebook, if I see a picture of a pet, instead of going, oh, what are they doing? It's like, did they die?
Yeah. In fact, our friend Clint and I were talking about that, how he's scrolling through Facebook and he sees a cute, picture of a pet, and he puts a little heart with it and then keeps going and then stops and goes back because he wants to make sure that it wasn't the pet pass post.
Well, I do the heart even if the dog has passed.
Oh, okay. I usually do that.
And it's because, I mean, for most of us, the devastation of losing a pet is right up there with losing a family member.
Oh, so, absolutely. Yeah.
And sometimes even more because, well, we are I mean, that's especially like for us right now, where we're at home all the time.
Right.
So I just know that when Honey died, we had gone through a while where it was just the two of us all day long, 24/7. We got up together, we went potty together, we ate together. And so when you come home and, from the store and there's no one greeting you at the door, it's the devastation just continues.
Yeah.
Grief. And it's just, so yeah. But that's the love that I'm talking about.
Right. And we wouldn't trade any time with them Mark and Ed are our sweet friends from formerly All About Me podcast. They recently lost both of their old timers, and they do have a new girl in the house, but they're still very much mourning their other babies. And I forget which one of them keeps posting the little, we're still thinking about you, and the little pet things where they do the little sayings that just rip your fucking heart out every time you see it. Every time I see a post by him, I'm like, oh God, I'm probably gonna cry now. But yeah, I get it. All right, hey, let's get into some current topics. Lil Nas X slams the music industry for sanitizing LGBTQ artists' sexualities, and I think he's absolutely right.
Well, when he first started, they go, just remember, you can be openly gay, but be more openly gay, like Manilow or don't flaunt it. People, if they want to know about it, they can look it up. But for heaven's sakes, do not do big splashy gay stuff.
And that is one of the reasons I absolutely love when he does like the big shower scenes with all the guys and licks them, and just I just like every time he is just himself.
Yeah, just go back
straight artists do.
Remember what happened to Adam Lambert?
Yeah,
he tried to do something super gay, and everyone knew he was gay, so it wasn't like it was a surprise. But he kisses a dancer on stage, and it nearly destroyed his career.
Yeah, and he was banned from that show, and I think that network. So people are fucking insane, and yet he has gone on to be like powerhouse. I mean, I really admire him.
Well, what I'm looking forward to is that they're talking that they're going to have a new Queen album with new music.
Oh wow!
And so that will really fortify him in the Queen. It's not just the guy singing for
Freddie's part, yeah.
But he will be the lead singer on this particular album. So
that's incredible.
Yeah, I think that'll be really fun for him.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, he is freaking talented. Okay, Elvira reports that she lost thousands of horny old men fans after coming out. My comment was no big loss.
Yeah, and it was only, it was maybe 10,000 out of her 300 plus thousand. And so I made sure that she got one more back with me, because I hadn't been following her. But I'm surprised. I would think the horny old men would be going, oh, girl on girl.
Yeah, exactly. But what the fuck ever. She's better off without him. And I think that any younger queer fans who don't know who she was probably made up for that loss too. So.
Yeah.
All right, Andy Cohen. Sorry, I just must have swallowed a mint. Won't be shamed for his drunken New Year's smack talk despite reports of CNN's anger.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Yeah.
Well, no, on the actual show. First of all, I didn't realize how many people on CNN were gay.
Yeah, right.
I mean, he's not one of the CNN people other than the New Year's Eve show, but the guys, the other newscasters are going, well, as soon as I'm done here, the husband and I are gonna, and I'm like, the husband? well, how many of you people are gay? And with Don Lemon and his drunk escapades, I you know, actually, I think Andy Cohen's probably making more out of this than CNN is, simply because he wants to publicize himself.
Oh, absolutely. He is.
He's always good at that, and
Yeah.
I like him. I don't. I know you don't like him. Brian doesn't like him, but I think, first of all, I think he's very handsome, and I think he's funny, and I also respect the fact that he basically owns the Housewives series.
Right.
You know, he's a producer for all that. He must be worth major bucks.
Oh, hell yeah. So let me clarify. It's not that I hate him or anything. It's just that sometimes I'm like, how did you get to where you are? A lot of the times when I watched his show, he just seemed so like oatmeal, like boring. But again, everybody, I certainly don't knock him for getting to where he is. I mean, anybody that can do that, as long as you're not like backstabbing people or whatever. But I know that Kathy Griffin didn't have very nice things to say about him. Again,
that's just two girls, fighting over Anderson Cooper.
Oh, exactly. That's very, very true. And we should all fight over him, although, yeah.
No, I'm sorry. The man is just too see-through.
I don't mind that, actually.
Yeah,
I'm kind of okay with that.
Yeah, no,
that's a little turn on. No.
Oh,
yeah.
He's like albino white,
and
they keep showing pictures of him out with his shirt off and in shorts, and it's like, God.
Yeah, I don't mind that either. Yeah. But no, actually, and what you said, I do think Andy Cohen is very attractive. But yeah, I don't always just click with his humor. All right, moving on from that, UK to pardon all past convictions of consensual homosexual activity. Really, after all this time? Well,
no, they're going back and pardoning people on paper.
Oh, well, that's
already passed away.
Oh,
so it is. Well, we're doing it right now with blacks in this country.
Black people, yeah.
Like the woman who she, as a young girl, had done something, very much like a Rosa Parks situation, and they wiped the books of her not conviction, but arrest and stuff, and she's like in her 70s.
Right.
So
I mean, I can't say that I disagree or that it's a bad thing that they're doing it. It's just when people have already died, it's like it just seems like it seems hollow. But I also will say, why aren't they going back and expunging now that pot is legal?
I know.
Expunging all that. It's just fucking ridiculous that they put people away, and it was so aimed at the black community anyway. But they were putting people away for half their lives over fucking marijuana, and now they're just like, oh, it's no big deal.
Well, it's a lot of work, and then we're going to release all those people at one time because it's a lot.
Yeah, right.
I know.
Still, all right. Moving on from that, though, Ted Cruz's teen daughter comes out as bisexual. She described herself as bi on TikTok and said she basically disagrees with the far-right senator on everything from politics to her clothes. So as long as this isn't just a teenage rebellion way to piss off dad, and it's actually true, then
yeah. And it's funny because we grew up in an era that when somebody goes, well, I'm bisexual, that basically means full on. So
right.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see, but yay. Sorry, So all right. Also in the news, of course, we did have some more celebrity losses, including Sidney Poitier, Bob Saget, Dwayne Hickman, and Marilyn Bergman. Now, for those that don't know Dwayne Hickman, he was Dobie Gillis, right?
Right.
Okay. And
Yeah.
do you want to explain for those who wouldn't know Marilyn Bergman?
Who's probably the least well-known of the names. She's part of the songwriting team, Alan and Marilyn Bergman. They won 3 Oscars. They won 3 Grammys. They won, I think, 4 or 5 Emmys for songwriting and for contribution to music. But she and her husband wrote things like "The Windmills of Your Mind," and some of these songs might not be well known for the younger listeners, but "Windmills of Your Mind," the theme to Tootsie, "It Might Be You," the Best Friends song, the "How Do You Keep the Music Playing" song, Yentl music, "You Don't Bring Me Flowers," and all these huge big songs. "What Do You Do in the Rest of Your Life?" But she also wrote the theme to Maude. So and then there's Maude. So
that's incredible.
So yeah, that one was the one that threw me, because I always think of her as basically her Way We Were. They wrote a lot of music for Barbra Streisand, or Barbra Streisand recorded a lot of their music. And so then I'm going, Yentl, "Way We Were," and then there's Maude, so I thought that was hilarious and wonderful, actually. So
and I love that theme, and it is so fun.
And if you've never seen it, look up "Theme to Maude" Family Guy.
Yeah.
And there's an episode where Peter Griffin's watching Maude, an episode, and they go, "And we've added back the original song," and so it just keeps going on, because you have Joan of Arc, but then they'll have like Amelia Earhart was a chick that flew planes, and it was just silly nonsense. And I kind of hope she was somehow a part of the writing that, but I'm sure it wasn't, but it was, I'm sure, just McFarlane. But still a real loss in the music business.
I am. And of course, we had Bob Saget die at 65, which is way too fucking young.
Yeah, well, that has to be. I mean, they haven't said anything. They said it wasn't drugs. They said it wasn't, like violence, something against him,
right.
Foul play. But that was a time period, and usually when you see the guys that are in their, let's say, late 50s to mid 70s, there was a lot of cocaine back in the 80s. That's all I'm saying. And that weakened a lot of hearts.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that was what happened, but when somebody like Bob Saget, 65 years old, looking like he's in good health all the time,
right?
So, and he was just recently on The Masked Singer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Just within the last couple years,
right. Okay.
He was on there, and he's jumping around in a costume, singing songs. You got to be in somewhat pretty good health. So
right,
it was surprising.
And of course, he was on Fuller House, which finished shooting last year. I mean, like their whole series,
right?
But I had posted on my page the opening lyrics to the song, which a lot of people, to the theme song of Full House, which a lot of people misunderstood. And of course, I'm always like, seriously, if you don't understand, just don't comment. Don't think I'm having a crisis, even if I am. But apparently I for the last 30 fucking years or whatever that the theme has been going, I misheard a lyric. The Paperboy, even MTV. Well, I've always for 30 years thought it was even MTV, and then somebody said that's evening TV. I'm like, well, I guess that would make more sense. I just thought they were really progressive for their time. Anyway, enough about me. Tom wants to talk to you about.
Well, my week has basically been trying to stay warm. It's I know that there's people rolling their eyes across the nation because we don't have snow. But the thing is, when they get down to the 50 degrees in Palm Springs, they're shivering. Okay. And when we get down into the 30s in Northern California, we shiver.
Right.
And the thing is that I find that I'll go in and take a nap simply because I'm cold and it's nice and warm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like my feet. Unfortunately, I bought myself some slippers this year that are really comfy slippers, and they keep my feet warm. And surprisingly, it helps me keep me warm, because when my feet get cold, I'm really uncomfortable. So anyway, but that's given me plenty of time to watch a lot of television. So first of all, I've been watching Kindred Spirits, which is a paranormal one of my paranormal shows. And what happened was the two that are on there used to be on Ghost Hunters. So Ghost Hunters just started up a few weeks ago, and the first episode had them coming back and joining the crew for the episode. And it was like, yay, my friends are there. I have no life. Okay. Let's see. Project Runway this week actually was the Housewives of Bravo, and Andy Cohen, my friend Andy Cohen, who I love dearly, was the guest judge. So, and that was fun. RuPaul's Drag Race just started this last week. The season 14, I think it is 14, 12, no, season 12, and so they did it like they did last season, where they start they start with 14 girls, but the first episode they do 7, and then the second episode they do 7, and then they eliminate one each week. So by the time they're all together, it's just the 12. So and one of the girls that I really thought was cool, they're supposed to highlight something that makes them different from the rest, their gimmick, their thing. And one of the girls is into burlesque. And so she was a flower. And so, she starts off as burlesque does, with the gloves, and then she starts pulling off petals. And I was like, that is so fucking clever. I've never seen that before done with burlesque. And I thought, okay, that's super cool. And they had some really good people. My favorite right now is Cornbread, who's this big black lady, black queen, and funny. And I can't wait for the rest of the season with her, because I'm pretty sure she's going to stay a long time. She's just got that star quality that you can tell right away with some of these people, that they are much bigger than when they walked in the door. And they're going to be the kind of people that actually Cornbread's supposed to be in town this week in Sacramento.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So really excited about that. Look, I just can't get enough of drag queens, and I go in between these time periods where Rue's not pumping it. Remember last year we had drag queens for like 5 months.
Yep.
Thankfully during the pandemic that didn't stop them. Well, it did stop them eventually, but we had a lot of drag queens shows, so I was excited about that. And speaking of that, finished Queen of the Universe, which is the drag queens can actually sing show, which I really enjoyed. I don't know what I thought they cut it way short than it should have been, because they all sing great, so why not go more episodes? But anymore, it's like American Idol. They think that people don't want the like on American Idol, they'll go months and months of trying to pick the people for the show, but as soon as we actually start the competition, it's over in a flash.
Yeah.
And it's a singing show. Let's see more singing. Okay. Right. Let's see. The Righteous Gemstones just started last night. Haven't seen the 2 new episodes. That's right. They brought out 2 new episodes the first week. So looking forward to seeing that. That's on HBO Max. This last week, Okay, it's kind of embarrassing. We wanted to see a guy named Mark Norman, who is he's a comedian coming up in a few weeks here at the Punchline in town. And Punchline is this great 300-seat venue where quite literally, if the microphone were off, we could still hear them tell their jokes. We're that close. And so really cool location. Well, I went in to do it, to order up the tickets, but then fucking iPad reset. So I had to go back in and do it again, or start it again. And so I went in and I accidentally bought tickets for the wrong person. So we went and saw him this week, and he was really good. We saw it on a Thursday night, which is, I'll tell you, if you can go on off nights, it's not as crowded, but you get a solid group of people there to see a funny show. And you're just not shoulder to shoulder, which on, Fridays and Saturday nights, you kind of get to the point of where you're a little too much together. Right. So anyway, it ended up being a really good show. One of the guys was local. It had not the opening guy who's always local. They usually bring in someone from Sacramento or San Francisco. But the second guy was actually from Elk Grove, grew up in Elk Grove, but now lives in Las Vegas, and actually is touring with Brett Ernst, who we saw. And Brett Ernst is also cousin Louie on Cobra Kai on Netflix. Oh, so it ended up being a really good night. But one thing I thought was really interesting was both of the guys talked about ass eating. I mean, it's like, remember when ass eating was that dirty thing that gay people, gay guys did? And now it's like, I don't hear it from gay men anymore, probably because they got, little stomach ailments too many times. But it's now it's all the heterosexual guys. That's the whole thing.
And you can thank Sex in the City for that. Remember the whole Miranda storyline?
No.
Oh, you didn't really watch it, did you?
No. Anyway, so Brett Ernst was really good. Really enjoyed the show. So if he's coming to your area, give him a try. And then we are seeing Mark Norman in a few weeks. So still going to see that one, but it was, that's what happens when you're high and you're trying to order tickets, basically. So
yeah,
it's one of those lessons learned. Let's see. Gordon Ramsay's, he's got a new show called Greek Vacation, where he's going around with like his foreign chef friends on vacation, but they're actually, they're doing a show, and it's quite lovely at times, but watching rich people vacation is not as much fun as one thinks it might be.
No, surprisingly, after a while it gets bourgeois.
Yeah, well, because they're going into restaurants in Athens, going, I'm Gordon Ramsay and I want to do something in your kitchen, and they're like, I'm sure they know who he is, but they're probably also thinking, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, they set all that shit up ahead of time.
Right. So it's just weird.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I remember the Rich and Famous, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Yes, which I remember actually liking when I was a kid.
Well, but that was kind of cool because it was something to dream about. This is what happens. It's not like watching, oh, look, here's Pam Grier out on her 90-foot yacht sunning herself with cocaine on every table. Right. It was more like, oh, look at these wonderful resorts. And that was the difference there. But it's so funny because Gordon Ramsay has another new show called Level Up, and where him and two other famous chefs pick teams, and they're trying to find out who's the best out of these 15 people. And it just reminds me of what Gordon Ramsay and Guy Fieri have done for television. And that's, Guy Fieri has another new show where he's looking to find someone to run a chicken franchise, and it's like it's like someone goes, hey, we need another 2 shows from you. Can you do it? Sure. When do you need them? Next week? Today? I can have it. They just keep pumping out shows, and they're most of the time entertaining. The vacation one is the first time it wasn't. Actually, if you do want to see a good vacation one, they've got Guy Fieri in Hawaii, and it's, even though they're out doing, like they're, doing stuff that we could never afford to do, it's still kind of cool, especially since I go to Hawaii all the time, to see like all these other elements and it's like Sean goes, oh, that'd be cool. I'd love to do that. And I go, and I will wait on shore while you're doing
that. Yeah.
So, but these guys, they're so prolific. I'm just shocked at how they can pump out shows. And of course, that's why they're rich. Oh, why couldn't it be us? Okay.
You never know.
What?
It could be. You never know. You just have to keep.
It's not going to be. But thanks for the thought. Other than that, there's, just waiting for the next celebrity to die.
Oh dear, really?
Yeah. So, what about your week?
Well, let's see. What did I do this week? Not that much. It's just been a kind of weird week for me personally. I've been on antibiotics, and with the antibiotics, it kills your gut bacteria. And so you go to the bathroom a lot, and you go to the bathroom quite suddenly. So I've been staying home a lot. I did get to go to the Kennedy.
Wait,
Gallery.
are you saying that you shit yourself?
No, but it's come close a couple times. Well, alrighty then.
We want shit yourself stories.
No, those are for Big Fatty, and that's not, or a couple months away still. Anyway, that's let's see. I did go to the Kennedy Gallery and saw their new nude exhibit. It's a very nice exhibit, and of course, I love the Kennedy Gallery in Sacramento. If you ever get a chance to, if you're ever in Sacramento, do stop by. It is a queer collective of artists, and very, 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 very fun. It was just a good show, and I guess that's really all that needs to be said. Other than that, I've been just kind of like trying to focus around the house, clean up the last bit of clutter. Christmas is put away almost completely. There's only one thing out now. Well, and my mother has asked that her tree just stay where it is in her room for now. So works for me. It's a very pretty tree. So I've just been watching some stuff mostly, including I watched the Facts of Life Different Strokes live. The whole thing that they've done with some of the other shows recently. And you didn't watch that, did you?
Yes.
Oh, you did watch it. Okay. I thought it was really fun, and it was kind of funny with some of the actresses, the way they would, some of the people would throw in little lines, and then they would, like, some of the actors would kind of have to recover from starting to break up a little bit. And I always love that kind of Carol Burnett stuff when it plays, when you're able to do that. It was fun seeing all the people that they brought together to do that. And of course, 99 years old, why is his name Norman Lear, right?
Yes.
Just absolutely brilliant. So the only thing that I'm going to say is that I cannot stand Kevin Hart, but I still think that they did a great job. I think the stuff that they did with him being so short, playing against John Lithgow, was absolutely fucking hilarious.
Well, I mean, the fact is that he was playing
Arnold,
yeah. who was famously short. And they make fun of Kevin Hart for being the shortest man in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So So I thought that was actually brilliant, and
Yep.
you got to give him pluses for doing it.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
he's big enough. I mean, because not only is he one of the shortest men in Hollywood, but he's also one of the most powerful and richest men in Hollywood right now.
Yeah.
And doesn't have to do this, but but he did it, and the joke was on him, and we laughed, and he laughed, and I thought that was brilliant casting.
And I thought it was pretty brilliant casting all the way around, including total surprise to me because I didn't know who was all going to be in this. Snoop Dogg, because I do love me some Snoop Dogg. So and that Kevin's joke at the end of it, which for anybody that's still watching it, I won't do a spoiler of the joke, but it was really fun. It was really fun to revisit that. And the Scarlet Witch, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she played Jo in The Facts of Life. She just rocked the shit out of that.
Well, she's it's Catherine Hahn is one of my favorite actresses. I just and anytime she's in something, the show immediately gets better.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that she did that. What really got me was okay, Blair's real name or the original one? Something, right? Like Lisa Winchell?
Yeah, that's it. Lisa Winchell, yeah.
Well, obviously she's got a painting in her closet that's aging because she didn't know.
I know, right?
That was scary.
Yeah.
How much it looked like Blair.
Yeah.
It's like she just walked off the set in 1984, and it's like, how do you do that? But that was incredible, because then you had the bigger girl. What was her name? Because I didn't.
Mindy Kahn, who I adore, but oh my goodness,
what was she trying to do with that look? Because she doesn't look that bad.
I think it's fresh, bad plastic surgery, because she really is. I was shocked when I saw her, because I've seen photos of her just a couple years ago, and she looks absolutely fine, and I was a little shocked. Yeah. And then of course they had Judy, but you're right, Lisa Winchell. And I hate that Lisa fell into a fundamental Christian bullshit, because if she hadn't done that crap, she could have become, I really think that she could have become like a queer diva, with just tons of queer fans worshiping her. She's fun. Anyway, so very fun. If you haven't seen it, go find it. It's worth a watch.
It's on Hulu.
Cool. Oh, okay, cool.
Hulu with no commercials, so
nice.
Just look for it.
Cool. I watched Queer Eye season 6. I watched all of it. Are you done watching all of it yet?
No, I'm not one of those HDI.
No,
what do you have?
No, every once in a while.
What do you, that thing you do?
Binge watching.
Well, because I know why you do, because you don't like waiting to find out stuff. I mean, it's like, it's there. You got to do it. It's your thing.
I might as well just do it. But I get, especially with Queer Eye, I get so addicted to the, I don't know, crying. I don't know, but I mean, I cried through pretty much every single episode. And I'll tell you, that's one of the things, like, there's an episode that you may not be up to yet where they go to school. And it's one of those things that just remind you that there is so much good and so many good people in the world, and that we don't see that because we have news that constantly pushes the scary and the bad and the crap. What are you playing with the lights?
They're really bothering me.
I know, it looks like you're having a happy ending all over your face there, but it just, we get so bogged down with the constant negativity and crap of news and then you see something like that, and you see the good out there and the young generation stepping up and doing wonderful things. We need to see more of that, because it really was so.
It's the lack of kindness that we've started to accept as a norm.
Yeah, and I mean, even most of these episodes were shot in Austin, Texas, and a lot of them were people that were, you know, Republicans and conservative types and everything, but they just went full bore and loved the guys, and you know, it's such a good show. So Queer Eye season 6, go watch it. Oh, and by the way, I was asked to tell you that after exhaustive research from one of our listeners, that the whole Jonathan and Anthony thing was a joke that they did on Instagram, and that they didn't really, they were never together.
I can't look at him anymore.
I can look at him because I hate to say it, but he is pretty. He's a very pretty man. You know what I love about Anthony is not his looks, and certainly not his old, you know, because he sometimes acts a little condescending, but I love his love for animals, which is like on every episode that there's an animal, he automatically is just like, oh my God, I must pet, I must hold the puppy, or the, you know, so.
Well, he did have that relationship with a seagull, so.
Lesbian seagull, please let me love you. All right, I'm making my way through all 4 A Star Is Born. I've been meaning to, everybody keeps telling me that I have to, well, not everybody, but that I have to watch the Barbra Streisand version. Oh my God, you have to watch it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to watch all 4 versions and then say, I watched them, I'm done with them. So I started with the 1937 one, which was actually really good. You know, sometimes you get more base storylines or and it was a little misogynistic, of course, back then, but it was still a really good watch. And I think that it, in its own way, there's a few things, you know, that wouldn't necessarily jive with today's culture, but for the most part, it stands up. So, and then of course, the next one was 1954, which had our Judy Garland in it. And oh my God, I forgot what a powerhouse she was, not only with the singing and dancing and everything, but acting. When she just got into a part, and she had, there was a scene in there where she was talking about, because her husband is an alcoholic, how she loves him and yet she also hates him, and you know, just the whole thing with addiction. She just did such a good job with it. It was so powerful. Anyway, but of course I had to fast forward through some of the dancing and the singing, because I'm like, okay, you're just putting this in here to stretch it out, and as much as I do love you, I've seen this clip. So but I think, well, I mean, I love it, but that's as far as I got with those. I had to wait on the other 2.
Well, the thing I like about the Streisand one is the music is excellent.
Okay.
The soundtrack used to be one of my favorites. I could listen to it constantly, and just because the songs are, well, it's Streisand, so you know, right. The songs are really, really good. And the thing about A Star Is Born is that it was focusing on the famous, I mean, because if you look at all 4 actresses, they were all the biggest stars at their time. Mm-hmm. You know,
yeah,
for singing, maybe not dancing, some for dancing, some not, but you know, they were the huge entertainers, even Lady Gaga. So but I'll tell you that soundtrack is fantastic. And you know, there's other versions of Star Is Born that aren't called A Star Is Born.
Oh no! See, I figured, but I mean,
remember that silent movie from a few years ago? I think it was The Artist.
Oh,
it was silent, black and white, that won Best Picture and shouldn't have. Which is basically, it was a version of The Star Is Born.
Okay.
So they're out there and they do them all the time. But they just don't call it A Star Is Born because everyone goes, oh God, you're remaking that again.
Right. Yeah. Well, and you know, for the 1937 one was not a musical. It was just, she wanted to be an actress, and that was it. So it's kind of, I'm interested to see, because you could see the evolution of, because there were a lot of similarities in the script, including some of the same scenes and dialogue. but there was such an evolution from 37 to 54. I am interested to seeing how they change it and take it, and yet what similarities they'll be. So yeah,
what I loved was when the Lady Gaga one came out, and it was very well received because because I thought, oh God, they're going to trash Lady Gaga, but she was really good. It was really well made. Bradley Cooper did a great job directing and starring. But what was so funny was when I was working, I was talking to some of the females that I worked with, and they were like going, "Oh my God, the movie was so good, but I couldn't believe the ending." And I'm like, "Well, it's the same ending in all the movies."
Right.
They're like,
the point.
they're like, what do you mean? I go, well, there have been other Stars Born movies, right? Please tell me there are other Stars Born movies. And they go, so you actually went to that movie knowing what the ending was? And you went? And I'm like, yeah, because it's it's A Star Is Born, right? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I mean,
and I'll
if you
tell
don't
you,
have the ending, there's no point in the whole movie.
Yeah, the Chris Christopherson character, I didn't care much for his vocals in Stars Born, but believe me, the Streisand songs, Queen Bee, and with one more, Look at You, and oh my God, just Evergreen, just amazing.
Oh,
amazing.
Yeah, that's a great song. Well, I'm going to be watching, probably going to be watching those back to back tonight. So we'll see. We'll talk about them next week. I also watched Caught Up on Boba Fett, and really enjoying it. Like you talked about, it really is fun, and I'm looking forward. Usually those kind of shows kick in about episode 3 or 4 is when they kind of really click and take off. Right. But this one's doing really good, just like from episode 1. So
yeah, I agree, and it was so nice seeing the twins show up in episode 2.
Yeah.
That's all fat guys need is the twins now.
Yeah. So, although I love that I forget her name. I know her last name, but I know I'd butcher it. But she's his number 2, the Asian woman, and she was, of course, in Marvel, not Marvel. Is it Marvel? Yeah. The TV series.
She's the original voice of Mulan.
No, but that's awesome. It makes me want to watch it more.
Yeah, in the cartoon, the original animated one, she was Mulan's voice. When they remade Mulan live action, she's also in that as one of the characters. So, but I'm not sure what she was in Marvel.
She was the one that was run on like Channel 10.
That's right. The Shield.
Yeah, she was like the number 2 in that whole series, and she, to me, was one of my absolute favorites.
She's really good. She's really good actress. When I see her, she always reminds me of Michelle, like a young Michelle Wan.
Yo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I love Asian actresses, so that's
so do I. And I don't. It may come across weird sounding, but give me a fucking Asian actress who can kick some ass, and I will love her. Love her.
Well, and that's the other reason why the Shing. Oh, God, I can never remember.
10 Rings.
Yes, the 10 Rings.
Yeah. That's what I say. Just the 10 Rings.
With the exception of the lead actor, it was all these, bitches that kick ass.
Yes, it was very, very women centric, and I love that.
Yeah, it shocked me. I did not expect that going into the movie.
Yeah. And of course, Michelle Yeoh, she was in that too.
Yeah. Yay.
So I also I caught up this week on all 6 episodes of And Just Like That, which, if anyone doesn't know, is the reboot. Well, not reboot. It's the sequel series, I guess, to Sex and the City. And I guess from what I'm hearing, it's getting a lot of shit, but I don't get it because not only is it just tearing my heart out, but to me, it's exactly where, these characters would be with the progression of the series. And keep in mind, I haven't seen the movies, or I didn't see the first one all the way through, and I haven't seen the second one. But I mean, it's such a good, powerful series. And what was the other thing I was going to say about that? And even with Samantha not being there, which I guess is one of the things that people are just so upset about, I think they did a great job with the way that they have kind of included her in the storyline, but also, it's the realization, it's the real thing is that sometimes, even though, you have these super close, tight friendships, sometimes they evolve, and sometimes, they aren't there, even though I think Samantha still is there. I'm not giving spoilers, so that's why it may sound a little vague, but I'm really happy with it. You watching it at all?
Hell no.
See, I think you're kind of missing out. I think that
then I'd have to go back and watch the other shows I didn't watch.
Nah, I don't think you.
No, I don't care. I don't care.
Well,
I'm not a Sarah Jessica Parker fan.
I know you're not, and yet she does so well in this.
Well, I'm sure she's fine in it, but I don't want to watch the show.
Okay, I'm not pushing you. Goodness
well, you were.
I wouldn't want you to add another one to your 50 show lineup, but I'm just saying that for anyone that is hesitating because they love the show so much and blah blah blah, and they've heard things, fuck it all, just watch the show. Anyway, all right. And then finally, last night was the debut of season 2 of Call Me Kat.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Pivoting.
Pivoting. Oh no, I haven't seen that. I know that you were talking about it, but Call Me Kat. Really good, fun episode. They had the original cast of Blossom on there as the cast of Blossom, and incorporated that. Yeah, it was just it was fun. It was kind of where it was the quality of show that they should have been in episode 4 of last season. But they've made it. It's fun. I'm loving it. I'm glad it's back.
So Pivoting, which comes on right after Call Me Crap, it is about these 3 women who they were 3 of 4, kind of like Sex and the City, and Samantha dies, and so now the 3 women are looking at themselves going, okay, we have changed from who we said we were going to be, and we need to get ourselves back. We need to find ourselves again. So it's a comedy, and it stars Jane from Happy Endings, and Snow White from that terrible Disney show, that, remember the one where they live action, where they live in that small town. Mm-hmm. So it's the 2 of them, and then Maggie Q. They're the 3 actresses, and Jane. Well, I call her Jane because I love her. She's always Jane to me from Happy Endings. So she does a cooking show, and she goes, I want to get back to being with my children again. I want to be a mother. I have children and I never see them. And so she goes home, and the nanny is like, what are you doing here? And she goes, I thought I'd come and spend the day with my children. And she's like, oh, okay, what about me? And she goes, oh, you can go home for the day. I'll still pay you. It's no problem. She's like, all right, bye. And she goes, wait, what do I need to do? Because she's like a bad mom. And so at the end of the show, she had spent the whole day with the kids, and it was terrible. And the little boy goes, Mommy, are you going to come and visit us again tomorrow? And she lives with them, but the kids never see her. So it's like, oh, you're going to come and see us again? And I laughed a lot. So It's a good show. And especially after you just had tons of laughs with Call Me Cat and you pivot into pivoting.
Well, I guess you'd need the laughs on Call Me Cat because the rest sounds kind of unlaughable.
Okay.
But I'll give it a try. I'm watching Cat on Hulu, so I'll put pivoting on my list and see. I still want to watch that other show that you talked about with the. Well, I'll ask you about that later. Okay, so what we want to remind you of is to be loud, be proud, be too much, and to be you. That Marker Clothing wants those of us who have been told that we are too much of something to turn those negatives into positives. And you can do that by using the code FMWildChub to get 20% off anything while ordering over at fatmarkerclothing.com. That reminds me, did you see the cute current photos of their dog?
Yes. Oh, wait, what? Who?
Of their dog.
No, I thought you meant the new model that they have.
Oh, no, I haven't. I'll have to check that out. But I was looking at Julius and Jason's dog, and it's just so cute. It's a little, anyway. All right, let's get into advice here. Let's see. This, of course, comes from Dear Prudy, slate.com. Go check them out. My lovely wife and I have a fairly low stakes argument that's getting worse now that Christmas is coming up. Obviously, this is a little old. Years ago, we adopted a little mixed breed pup, and she's the love of our lives, especially because we don't have kids and don't plan on it. My family has become obsessed over the last few months.
My wife.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. I'm glad you're following along. My wife has become obsessed over the last few months about getting the dog DNA tested. I think it's a waste of money. It would be $200 to $300 for a high quality one, and that would give us medical results as well, which is cool, but I don't care enough about the dog's heritage to drop the cash. My wife would pay for it herself, but she can't. She's not working right now, and I'm the breadwinner. I pay for everything, all bills, food, gas, dates, etc., except her little stuff. Like if she needs new clothes or gets coffee, it wouldn't be wise for her to dip into her savings to pay for a dog DNA test. She's become more attached to the dog, didn't think that was possible, than ever since losing her job. And I think this is just part of that weirdness. I never make her feel bad that I pay for everything, and she's never expressed any shame as she contributes majorly around the house and with our pets. So I don't think it has to do with that. I feel like an asshole in part because I have some clothes items to be returned that I could easily cover the cost of the test. The money isn't the problem. I just think it's stupid to spend it on to spend it on. She brings it up every other week or so. At this point, I'm just tired of it. Should I give in and get it for her or not budge because it's the dumbest purchase ever? I say your wife should just divorce you.
No, first of all, you shouldn't be reading that so condescendingly.
Oh, why?
Well, because first of all, you're supposed to not have read these ahead of time, so you obviously did, and you came up with that bitchy.
Well, obviously, I read the question ahead of time because some questions we don't want, if you know what I mean.
Well, I know, but the bitchy tone that you gave that, of course, we don't like the guy now.
Well, I know. That's why I read it that way.
Well, I think it's a stupid thing to spend money on as well. But coming from that, but I am the person who's not working. And, but
that's why you're sensitive to the voice. Okay, I get it. No, I just think I would say buy it for her for Christmas. I mean, I'm not running out to get my dog tested either, even though I swear she's half corgi. I'm just saying, I can't disagree that it's not, if you don't have a lot of money, it's a dingy purchase.
Well, it's not that they don't have a lot of money. The thing is, it's just stupid.
Why?
Why is exactly.
Why do we do anything? Why do we get ourselves tested? Why do we buy it? Why do we buy a new sofa cover? We don't need it.
Well, obviously you do.
Anyway, I'm not disagreeing that it's not a priority thing.
That's the thing. If you hadn't made it so snotty and he didn't mention the whole thing about being the only breadwinner, it almost feels like you've added shitty things in there to make him sound even worse. I know you didn't, but it sure feels like you did.
My wife would pay for it herself, but she can't. She's not working right now, and I'm the breadwinner.
See how much better that sounds?
I pay for everything, all the bills, the food, the gas, dates, etc., except for her little stuff. I mean, when she needs new clothes or gets coffee, it wouldn't be wise for her to dip into her savings to pay for a dog DNA test.
Yeah, see how much better that sounds? So much better.
But I still think he's an asshole. No.
Well, I think he's an asshole.
The only thing I think he's an asshole about is I pay for everything except for her little stuff. And, well, that really comes across as kind of dickish. But other than that, I can't say that I disagree that it's not a smart purchase if you are struggling right now. Well, not struggling, but
Yeah, well, I just think it's
so. Well, next time I will be happy to just change my tone. Actually, I can have Alexis read it or something, maybe, because she has that kind of tone that just
I can drive over there and to your house and hit you right now.
Well, you could read it if you wanted it to. I wouldn't be, Anyway, well, let's see what Joe Prudy has to say, and we'll save you the trip over. All right. Imagine not having money of your own and needing to ask your husband for permission to make purchases in the low hundreds. Imagine being told you're weird because you become attached to your pet after losing your job. You keep saying this is a stupid expense, but what strikes me as really stupid when it comes to the health of your pet, of your relationship, is using your power as the breadwinner to deprive your wife of the one thing she really wants right now. You don't have a lot of regard for what she wants, and you don't have a lot of respect for her. If you want to stay married, do a better job of hiding that. Buy the test. You can insist that you're right here and refuse to pay, but I guarantee you it won't make either of you happy.
I think that's the right thing.
See, I would say, just since this was written before Christmas, get it as a Christmas present and be done with it.
Okay.
Anyway, that's just my thing. Anyway. All right. Hey, Chubs, when's the last time you dressed up?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I can't.
I don't even have dress up clothes to dress up.
I was pretty much same here.
We were just talking about this recently that, with people we know dying, we should probably get like something formal to wear to funerals, because I have a pair of black pants and the only place I wear them to is a funeral. And but I don't even have a black shirt to wear.
Yeah, I don't.
And I don't have good shoes to wear to a funeral.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of glad when Sean didn't ask me. He didn't not ask me, but he didn't insist that I go to his grandfather's funeral a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I was kind of grateful for that, because I'm like, what would I fucking wear?
Right. Well, it's like when I went to my father's funeral. I mean, we purposely said, casual but smart attire, and I just didn't have great, fancy slacks or anything like that. So I don't know. Hey Chubs, where's the last place I think that's ate out?
Ew.
Not like that. That's what straight
okay.
people do now.
Yeah. The last place, we were at McCooney's a couple weeks ago. We with the pandemic, we usually we bring stuff home. So but if it wasn't McCooney's, it would have been our pho place. So
Ah. For me, I think it was yeah, I think it was the Hawaiian place downtown that used to be like Original Pete's or something. Yeah.
Wasn't it somebody's birthday party just recently?
I don't think so.
I thought you went to like one of Charlie's things. You got
Oh, Charlie had that murder mystery
oh, that's right. It was
thing. Yeah, but that wasn't like
that was
I
at
didn't-
home.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, got a trivia question for you. What is the best-selling candy bar in the United States?
My guess would be Snickers.
Yes, Queen. Oh wait, I have to do it like Jonathan. Yes, Queen.
I got a trivia question for you.
Oh, cool.
How many episodes were there of the original Johnny Quest?
Oh wow. 28?
39.
Wow.
And it was on all the time when I was a kid. And I thought I thought there would have been hundreds of them, but it ran one season, 26 episodes, and then it ran a half of an season, another 13 episodes. So only 39 episodes. I was really shocked about that.
Yeah. I mean, I remember watching that in reruns and thought, yeah, I would have thought there were a lot more. Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, and about Snickers, Snickers is not only the best-selling candy in the US, but it's also the best-selling candy worldwide. Made by the Mars Company, it was named after the Mars family's favorite horse. So, interesting.
What I think is interesting is that Moose P and Michael ate the same food.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's weird. That's called a picture fashion faux pas. Oh wait,
Ooh.
it's not faux pas. Get it? Okay,
Yeah.
here's the
Also,
right
I
photo.
figured it was Moose P's because it's
Yeah.
you know how he loves his
Close up.
Chinese food.
Oh yes. Yeah. Let's see what that was. Okay, so he wanted something simple without a lot of sugar in the sauce at the Chinese restaurant. So they made him stir-fried chicken and vegetable in a white sauce. Was really good, and the sauce tasted like chicken gravy.
Yeah, it does. It looks so good. And even the vegetables, I'm usually not a big vegetable forward Chinese food fan, but that looks really, really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
And
I do like the white sauce, the clear sauce.
Yeah.
Because it's made with cornstarch.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And that's and they don't add any soy or anything to give it any coloring, so that's why.
That's cool. And then Mr. Michael Sage, which I did put the corrected photo in there.
I see that.
Okay. He sent a photo of black-eyed peas and collard greens. And with side, I believe that's a side salad that I'm gonna say it's tomato, your standard tomatoes, cucumbers, onions, things like that. But it looks like little chunks of watermelon to me. It's probably a tomato.
Yeah, garbanzo beans, some purple onion. What else do I see in there? There's olives.
Maybe a pepper.
To me, it's like a nightmare salad, but
yeah. I like garbanzo beans.
Okay. Oh no! Look
what?
Look at the top onion right at the top of the bowl.
Okay.
That is, he didn't cut out the butthole.
No, it's horrible.
Isn't that weird? I mean, because I can't. It has to come out.
Yeah. Now, are you talking the onion or the tomato?
The tomato right next to the fork.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what I was looking at too. Okay.
And it's got the where the vines is, it's the belly button basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but I'll tell you the black eyed peas look really amazing.
Yep.
Because my mom would just make black eyed peas. She didn't have all sorts of other stuff in it, and so this looks like a meal.
It looks like he's got a crouton in there too.
A what?
Oh, a crouton.
Oh, crouton. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's what that actually is. It could be like cornmeal drops.
Okay.
Like a cornbread.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because that's what my mom would make she'd make the pot of black eyed peas just for her because nobody else would eat it. And then she'd make a little thing of cornbread. She had like a 8-inch cast iron pan, and she would make the cornbread and she would have that. And then the next day she would have cornbread with warm milk. Oh boy, those Midwest people.
Yeah. Well, currently, LGBTQ people of color in America have a disproportionately high rate of new HIV infections. Golden Rule Services of Sacramento want you to know that there is an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. Pre-exposure prophylaxis, aka PrEP, is a medication proven to be 99% effective in preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, call your local sexual health clinic. To find out more about Golden Rule Services, visit sacgrs.org. And you can send us an email at chubsgonewild@gmail.com. Don't forget to send us your entry into our Valentine's Day little event. Leave us a comment at chubsgonewild.com. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/chubsgonewild. Watch videos of the show over at YouTube. Just search for Chubs Gone Wild. Please consider becoming a patron of the show over at patreon.com/MattBurlingame, and find Tom's movie and TV reviews over at swanandjudd.com. Find our podcast in iTunes or on iHeartRadio, and find out more about my books over at justkisstheguy.com, and check out my other podcast at bigggaysexshow.com. And give us a call at
408-69 Chubs.
Woohoo! And now my mama and I are going to be off to the store. Got to pick up some stuff.
What are you getting? What are you getting?
Well, for her, I'm not exactly sure what she's supposed to get, but for me, normally I'd want some chocolate and some of this and that, but really I'm just going because I want to look at the now that it's been 10, 15, 16, 17 days after Christmas. I want to see if there's any of the 90% off stuff left, so that I can, maybe get an ornament or something. Yeah, that's how I roll. I wait till it's cheap. Anyway, all right. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time. Bye.